Hello and welcome to another episode of Odyssey Strength Podcast, joined by yours truly, Giannis Xopoulos, and
Jackson Mansudi.
we want to thank you for joining in for another episode. Hopefully we can give you some takeaway tips that can help improve your health and fitness journey, make the whole process a lot easier and more sustainable. If you're interested in coaching, you can reach out to either of us on our Instagrams. I'm Coach Xopoulos_OS.
Coach Jackson Mansudi _OS.
Or you can DM the Instagram page, Odyssey Strength, or find us on the website, odysseystrength.com.au. Let's get into the episode. Bring that mic a bit close to you. I want to hear you in my brain.
You want to hear? I'll put the volume up. How about that? Is that better?
That's for you, not for me.
Oh, okay. Well, then I don't know.
Try that.
How's that?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same. That's all right. We'll just deal with it.
Anyway, what's happening?
Good.
How'd you find that training session?
Yeah, it was good.
Do you like the glasses?
You look like
For anyone watching at home, I got glasses. Turns out I'm long-sighted. They help a lot.
Sub-superiors, subpar human.
Bro, my
I think I need glasses too sometimes.
Bro, so when I went, like, obviously you knew where I was going, right? So when
Don't worry, I knew.
it's improved, but
Much.
I just was struggling to concentrate and I wasn't getting headaches, which apparently is a common thing with long-sightedness. Bro, when I covered my left eye and had to read out the letters, it was so bad. And then the minute he put the lens on, bro, I was like, holy shit, what have I've been missing out on a whole other world. It's actually wild the difference it made. I couldn't believe it. So then I also decided to spend $400 on glasses because I got Prada glasses. Worth it.
Yeah, listen. You gotta look good.
Yeah.
If you don't look good, you don't feel good.
If I'm
It's like this. No fade right now is burning me. Last week I didn't get a fade. I don't feel good about myself. My self-esteem is low.
Are you gonna get a fade tomorrow?
Of course. Is the Pope Catholic?
Are you weekly?
I'm weekly, but I did this. So the routine is.
Oh, you're too loud in my ears.
The routine is I'm gonna be louder in my own brain. I've got a wedding coming up on the 27th.
Yeah. That
I'm a groomsman for. Okay, so it's big. It's not just a wedding that you see at the back near the toilets. This is a wedding.
Yeah.
Gotta look sharp. In the tux, the fade, the watch, everything's gotta look good. Right? And sometimes when you get a fade weekly, the hair gets a bit different length, it grows back, but always looks the same. I needed it to be full. I need a sharp hairline. So I had to give it that fullness to grow back. So I had to wait a week. So when I go tomorrow, right, because fresh fade Friday, always, triple F, right? Just want to let you know, triple F. It's going to look magical. It's going to look unbelievable.
So you've waited a week for this one?
2 weeks.
2
weeks.
That's big.
That's big for me. Big. I used to be able to do it, but now it's not. Friday comes, straight to the barbershop. That's it. Friday, my only concern is going to the barbershop because it's like a jungle there. It's like peak hour at the gym.
But that's why I don't like going Fridays because it's so busy.
Yeah, but it's I don't have this marination period and context. Marination period for haircuts is like when it looks its best. It might be a couple of days before the weekend. Mine is not. It's 1 day, max 12 hours and straight into it. No marination period. I'm ready to eat.
Fair enough. Well, I hope it goes well for you.
Me too. We'll see.
Anyway, Giannis actually has something that he's withholding from us at the moment. He's got a bit of an announcement. He's actually grown up.
So
he hit puberty.
Yeah, 25's changed me.
His frontal lobe developed.
The
Oh, it wasn't loud enough.
You didn't shake it enough.
I'm on my 5th Coke Zero of the day.
He's full steam ahead. This guy, full train ahead. If there's any grammatical errors or shit grammar in this episode, it's because we trained. And I'm not present right now.
You feeling it?
I need a bit of food in my stomach.
That's all right. It happens.
Yeah. Plan is set. So obviously Jackson's going to be competing. He's got a few shows lined up. So I have made a decision along with my big daddy coach to join him in the strategies and to be ready for a photo shoot on the 14th or 15th of September. So that's 9 weeks away.
Join the Odyssey.
It's going to be good. It's going to be yeah. time sensitive goals, they smash everything. They're like the best thing you can do for your urgency,
Yeah,
regardless of the goal.
Yeah, just think of it like when you were at school and it was like, oh, my assignment's due tomorrow. All of a sudden,
You can do the work,
all of a sudden you got the answers right in front of you. They're just there. You make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it'll be cool, man. Like, I think it'll also be great for us to obviously be sort of in the trenches together. I mean, I'm there now, but you know,
Yeah, I hear this call for backup, and I go, all right, I'll get into.
yeah. Look, bro, it is difficult. You know, like I was speaking about it on the YouTube before we were filming. Like, we're just under 8 weeks out of the show number 1. So show number 1's September 14th, show number 2 is October 5th, and show number 3 is October 15th, which is Nationals.
When's the Sydney one?
That's the October 5th.
October.
Yeah. So, yeah, man, look, like it is getting to the point where you're feeling the effects of what a diet long-term does and where it no longer probably becomes something of health. But, you know, it's worth it to me. And I'm very much embracing and enjoying that process. It's just like you have to deal with the territory of it. And, you know, like you've obviously felt some of it before and you're probably going to feel it now more than ever when you do decide to get more, when you do get leaner and whatnot. And it's just like you just become autopilot. But
yeah, I'm trying to think if I was probably I was very similar weight. I was probably 2 kilos difference from the last year I did a diet. I had 7 weeks to do that. I took off about 7 kilos.
7 kilos. A kilo a week, that's pretty aggressive.
Yeah. But it was
It's what you're doing now.
And I fucked around for the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, but you know what, man? Like, it's been easy up until now too. Like, for me, like, honestly, the fact I've been dieting 16 weeks, to me, I was like, that's crazy.
It's a long time.
Because, like, I was like, this has flown by. And then now these next 7 to 8 weeks, obviously, it's going to feel a lot harder because that hole's a lot deeper. But it's like, you know, once you get leaner, then it gets harder. So it's just like those first 16 weeks, bro, like it has not been difficult. I haven't flinched. Training's been fine, still been fun. Energy's still been high. And, you know, even at some points during the day now, people might even say, oh, you know, you're fine. It's just those points where you're not.
Yeah, I mean, it's a
It takes me like 2 hours it takes me about 2 hours to get into my day to figure out how I feel for the day.
Yeah, and it comes with practice and experience as well. It's like the first one, probably not going to be the greatest. The second one, you do it a few times, and this is the thing. I think it's actually beneficial to get lean probably once a year.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, depending on the goal, yeah, definitely.
Let's take it. We'll use 2 examples. Let's say, you know, physique orientated, right? For one, so you prioritize a long-term physique change, right, which is a lot of our clients. I think you don't have to be super lean. I mean, getting leaner to be able to assess a physique and see what needs work and what areas you need to brush up on is a good idea.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
Getting to photo shoot lean once a year probably is going to stunt your ability to be able to make long-term progress. And you should just try and get a bit leaner to then, you know, bounce back into a growth phase or a maintenance phase and move forward from there. Yeah, I wouldn't suggest doing a photo shoot. You can do a photo shoot every year, but you're probably not going to look that much different, especially for females. It's much harder because you don't have the ability to put on that much muscle
in such a short amount of time.
You're just going to put on a lot of weight.
You even look at it with, like, you know, like high level bodybuilders. Like, some of them take a year off, bro, because they just need to grow.
Yeah, well, look how long you took off. It's 2 years.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I went to Europe and shit, but
doesn't count.
I wouldn't count that as
like
it wasn't making any positive.
Like I said, I think I wasted a year from Europe to now. I didn't waste a year.
It just wasn't any conscious effort towards the goal or
an
outcome.
Made progress in a lot of training areas and a lot of nutrition areas, but the consistency towards a noticeable change in physique growth was not there, which is okay. I'm okay with that because I made the trade-off at the time to play football or whatever it might be. Whatever you choose. Yeah,
different goals.
It's fine. But now I think having the time-sensitive goal is mad.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think about the time that I'm going to take till I decide to compete again after this, which is going to be a while, and that's why I'm competing so much. That's why I'm doing all these photo shoots, because like the next time I going to look like this, it's going to be a while away.
Mm.
So my plan is grow for a year and then do season A the following year.
2026.
Yeah. So what's next year? 2025. I'll do 2026 season A.
I don't know. Is that the later end of the year?
No, it's the start of the year.
Right.
So I'll take the whole
So
year
it's
to
like
grow.
16 months, 18 months.
Yeah, so I'll take the whole year to grow. Obviously, I'll probably bounce out of this once all the photo shoots and shit are done quite quickly.
Yeah. So do you have a plan for what it looks like coming out of a 24-week diet?
Yeah, there's going to be a recovery period, which looks like a slow in, or I don't know about calories wise, probably have a bit of a jump in calories, but in terms of output, it'll still definitely still be relatively high because you can't just,
Or you don't twist the dials in the opposite direction once it's done, right?
yeah,
Because that's how you undo all the hard
you
work.
can't just turn off. It's not like a footy game where you can play on the weekend and have a bender on the day of the game because you don't play again until next week. It's like that has ramifications on your ability to maintain the progress you've made during that time. So for me, I think Jason said it's a minimum 4 to 6 week recovery period because you got to remember as well, like the hormones and shit that we're fucking with. Not that I'm on any hormones, but you still have effects of long-term dieting that play on your hormones. So we need to sort of reverse all the negative effects that happens with that, with the libido, energy, sleep, patience, just like all those things that you don't realize play such a role in long-term dieting. We need to reverse the negative effects of that and make them back to homeostasis.
Fresh.
Yeah. Which is a great segue into like sort of what we're talking about today. Just like we are running a workshop on August 5th. It's going to be a free live workshop on Zoom by yours truly, Jans and I, about a topic that we're very, very, very passionate about, which is eating to look jacked. And I think it's something that, most people train hard, most people show up to the gym, but, most people fall short when it comes to nutrition.
We said it really well. Sorry to cut you off. If you can go back to last week's episode, you made a very good point of there might be 4 things that you need to do to achieve your desired result. Most people do 2, maybe people do 3, but the 4th, the last one, could be anything within nutrition, but usually the 4th, the last one is what you're missing out on.
Yeah, and if you are someone with physique outcomes and you want to either gain muscle mass or look leaner, or have someone in the gym come up to you and be like, brother, what's your program? Like, what are you doing that I'm not? And you want some strategies on how to implement into your busy lifestyle on how to actually get those goals, then you'd probably want to show up to this because it's something that we're really, really, really passionate about. So basically, if you want to know how to structure a daily nutrition, you're training but you're not seeing results, and you're eating but you're not sure if it's going to actually give you the outcome you want, then show up. But we're going to give you some strategies today that we think you could probably take away anyway, and we're going to dive even deeper into the actual workshop. The biggest thing, obviously, is just understanding the mechanisms of energy balance, and we fucking talk about it all the time, and it's just like, what literally it's just, I think of it as the same way as a car. Yeah, you need enough fuel tank in the car for you to function. Would you agree?
Yeah.
That's the easiest way I can describe energy balance.
Yeah. And it's like your body's a race car. If you go and put 91 in it, right? It's probably not going to work too well. If you put fucking E85 or 98, is a good quality fuel. Is what I'm trying to say is if you go and support your body with, healthier choices, food that's going to fuel your performance and help you fuel recovery, chances are you're probably going to put yourself in a better position. Not even probably, you will put yourself into a better position to get better results. It's no question. It shouldn't even be a topic of discussion, but we're going to talk about it anyway.
Yeah. So understanding energy balance is how you're actually going to manage your weight, your body weight. It's probably the biggest fundamental when it comes to managing body weight. So we need to look at how much do you need to eat in order for your goal. So you can go use any TDE calculator, or you can go use the macro calculator that we have on Odyssey Strength's website, or you can head to the link in our bios and use that one. But you're going to put in some information and it's going to spit out some numbers essentially. And you're going to be like, what the fuck what do I do with these numbers and what do they even mean?
Yeah, chances are you've probably done it before. I've done it thousands of times, hoping for different results every single time.
Yeah,
I've
of
used
course.
different websites. I've used other PTs ones. Like, they're just numbers the same way that, you know, it's like finances. It's predicted.
Yeah,
If you go and spend more, you have less money,
Yeah.
So these numbers they're just guidelines, and they're just guesstimates.
Yeah. And
You have to do the work.
someone even said it's like, oh, you're, trying to shit on PTs who use calculators and stuff. It's like,
Oh, we use calculator.
and it's like, oh, you're not teaching the person how to enter the data or anything like that. It's like, bro, just go work it out. If you put in the wrong data and you eat that amount of calories and you put on weight, you're probably eating too much food. It's that simple, And opposite, if you're eating and losing weight, you probably need to eat more food, unless that's the goal, of course, right?
Yeah.
So, you got to understand. Well, let's actually break down what they are and what brings you to the point of your calories. We look at your age, we look at your height, we look at your current body weight, we look
Male,
at
female.
male or female. We look at how much movement you do on a daily basis that's not planned exercise versus
so steps, cleaning the house, walking the dog.
Someone who's a laborer is going to burn more calories than someone who has an office job.
Good luck if you're a laborer.
Yeah, you're probably going to need to eat more. So throughout the workshop, we're going to really help you understand what it is that energy balance is, and that if your goal is to either put on muscle mass or lose body fat, probably where you need, I'd say you want to start anywhere between, if you're trying to lose weight, anywhere between, I go 10, 15% decrease of calories. It's a good starting point on the less aggressive end.
I'd probably, so this is a quick little tangent, but that nutrition little slideshow that I recorded, I gave people two options, right? There's option A, which is you can do a longer diet. Let's say it's 12 weeks.
Yeah.
Right. And you can do,
which I wouldn't even consider that long.
Say it is. I will say for the purposes of now. So we've got 12 weeks, right? You can take away, let's start 15%. I think 10% gives a little bit too much room for error, right? Because people probably you're not going to have the greatest nutritional literacy. Your tracking skills might not be up to scratch. And you might find yourself, having a meal out, or there's going to be a lot of variables there. So we want to make sure that we're doing enough to get by, right? With all the variables that are in play. Because these numbers aren't perfect. Tracking isn't perfect. Like, this kiwi fruit here probably has about 140 calories in it. But that's a guess. I don't actually know. Nor does it really matter, right? So nothing's perfect. So I would say 15% be a good starting point. And you can see how that works over the first couple, 3 to 4 weeks. If your body weight's going down, you're doing well, right?
Yeah.
If that stops, you either need to A, decrease your calories again, or B, increase your movement, right? I would personally opt for increasing movement. I think that's a little bit easier, right?
Lower barrier to entry.
Yeah. Do some cardio or increase your steps.
Steps is probably best for me.
Right.
Might go to.
And you need to have the independence and the want to know which one's going to suit you best. If I say to you, Jackson, I want you to go and do 30 minutes of cardio, and you hate cardio, you're not going to do it, which means you're not going to get to the goal. So when you're thinking about, and we'll speak about this in the workshop, but when you're thinking about which option is going to be better for you, think about what you're going to adhere to. That's the most important part of any diet. What am I going to stick to for the long run, right? So you can do that. And then when that stops working, you have to either decrease the food or increase the steps. Option B, right? So I would go personally like a 30% reduction, take away 500 calories from whatever you're having.
Yeah.
Right? Aggressive, maybe 6 to 8 weeks, right? Yeah, it's hard. But also there's a lot more buy-in because you see the results straight away.
Yeah, 100%.
So you have to decide who you are as a person.
Yeah, there's no one-size-fits-all approach. And I think that's something that you would really take away just from this podcast alone, and even when we do present this. But the other thing as well is even on the other end, when you're trying to gain weight and you're trying to get bigger, for one, you got to understand that it's a much slower process, and energy balance matters, obviously. But the amount of calories you eat, you can't just start fucking munching on whatever you want. Like, I had this conversation with one of my clients the other day, and I was looking at his calories across the week, and I was like, bro, we had 6,000 calories on one day and like 2.5 on another day. was like, what's going on, bro?
Digestive nightmare.
Yeah, I was like, like I get you're trying to get the calories in, but you're not doing yourself a favor by one day just trying to have a mass amount of calories and then not eating the next day, or just trying to eat as much as you can given the day because one day you felt like eating more and one day you didn't.
I did that.
Yeah, it doesn't work. Like at the end of the day, you want to only see like on a reality basis 250 grams of body weight increase per week, maybe 500. And
Yeah.
and anything more than that, you best believe you're not going to be gaining muscle. Like that's not muscle tissue does not accumulate that quickly. It just doesn't work that way.
Mm.
So take it with a grain of salt when we say, oh, energy balance matters. Yeah, it does, but the rate in which you increase that energy or the amount of calories that you eat is going to be super important on the rate of progress and as the ratios of which is going to be fat to muscle, at least on the way up.
100%.
On the way down, the rules apply differently. But on the way up, you need to make sure that you're seeing a slow increase, not a fucking a kilo a week. That's not positive.
Mm.
And you're going to hate the way you look. You're not going to be happy. Your pumps are going to be shit. As you said, your digestion is going to suck. Like it's not conducive to the goal.
Yeah. Weight gain, if you want to do it properly, there needs to be way more consistency. It should be exactly like you are trying to be in a deficit, except the only thing that changes is the food intake. That's the only thing. Your habits are going to be the same. So your sleep schedule needs to be exactly the same. General movement needs to be right? It needs to be good. It doesn't have to be super high, but it needs to be at a good level where you're still supporting
general health,
heart health,
yeah.
digestion. Like I found that walking was really good to help get food in because it helps promote digestion, helps move blood sugar and glucose around the body.
Yeah.
So you don't get like really massive sleepy episodes if you are trying to shovel down carbs. But it also doesn't turn you into a couch potato. Like you don't just want to be fucking chunky.
Yeah, because one thing I do notice now with dieting is like my energy, is shut, but my productivity is still really high. Because you're just like not thinking about, you're trying not to think about food, so you just be productive.
Just be busy.
Whereas like when you're not dieting and you're trying to grow, because you have just like you're always full, you feel sluggish and whatnot, which is just part of it, right? Like, fuck, man, choose which one you're willing to deal with.
They
like,
each have their hard.
Yeah, they are both difficult. Choose your hard, and both are going to be a long journey. It's literally how we fucking sell our business.
Muscle mass is longer.
But then even like, and again, moving on to the next part, like how you're structuring your meals or what your plates are looking like. Like, I had this conversation with a client the other day, and she's like, my goal is to look better, and I was like, okay, but your meals don't reflect what the goal is. Like, yeah, sure, you're eating the calories, but if most of your plate looks just like fucking, like, of course vegetables are great, but if you got no protein on there, no carbs in there, like, you're not really doing yourself any favors. And this ties into macros as well, because how much protein should you be eating, how much fat should you be eating, but on a basis level, just on a fundamental level, each meal that you have should have an even ratio of protein, carbohydrates on the plate, some healthy fats, and your micronutrients.
Yeah. Food quality will determine how you look.
100%.
While we say, calories are they're the pinnacle, right? You got a triangle.
You got a hierarchy.
Yeah, the base of the pyramid is the calories. And then it's slowly followed by I'm going to go ahead and say adherence, probably going to be like the next little sliver. And then you're going to have macronutrients. That will determine what you look like. If you're, having low protein and you're trying to put weight, trying to put muscle on, chances are you're probably not giving yourself the best opportunity to actually turn the calorie surplus into muscle. You're gonna feel soft. You're not gonna be able to pack on that tissue over a long period of time, which can be really frustrating. Like for the longest time, I just wanted to be bigger. I just wanted to be heavier. I didn't really care what I looked like. It was the scale that bothered me.
Yeah.
So I was just, shoveling food in. I was like that, probably one of those young boys. 6,000, at one stage I was eating like 4,200 calories, and the next day I'd have like 1,500 because my digestion would be so cooked from the day before. And I was like, oh, I can't do this every day. So then you go, oh, I'll have 1,500, and then I'll have 4,000, and then I have 3,000. And it's so inconsistent that you're not building any real good meal behaviors. You don't have vegetables on the plate sometimes, which is okay. Like, I'm not going to sit there and say, don't do that. I've done it. The other day I had honey and rice. Like, sometimes there's a time for it.
100%.
But speaking majority of the time, that's an extreme
You still
case.
have like 3 or 4 fundamental meals that tick those boxes.
I still get 30 grams of fiber a day.
Yeah. 100%.
So you can't have, those shitty meals, if that's what you want to call them, or like those excessively basic meals, I should say, without doing all the other stuff.
Yeah.
They have to be together.
Yeah. And especially, I feel like we're talking in the context of building muscle here, but even in the context of dieting, if you're not prioritizing things like protein and carbohydrates, you're going to really see a shit outcome throughout that diet. Like, you're not going to see a lot of muscle mass retained. You're not going to see those glutes come through the way you want them to. You're not going to see that chest perk up the way you want it to. And you're just going to look shit. And
you'll feel shit too.
You'll feel shit too. Like, you're not going to enjoy the process. Your energy during training is going to be shit. Like, your recovery from training is going to be shit. And then you're going to sit there and say, well, like, this whole stuff doesn't work, and I'm not seeing results, but I'm training hard, and like, I'm not sure what to eat. But it's like, you just haven't been told that, yes, the calories matter, but also so does the way you build out your meals. So does the macro split. How much protein you're getting in per meal, how much carbs you're getting in per meal. Because I've heard it so many times before. People are like, I just get like all my protein in at night. It's like, nah, bro. Like, you can't do that. Like, I mean, you can. Hypothetically, the numbers.
Yeah, on paper it works, but in reality, it's way different.
Oh man, like,
bodies don't work that way.
Nah, it's just like, it's that abundance theory of just like, too much of something at one time is not going to be good. Like,
you guzzle a liter of water, you don't feel good. You don't feel hydrated. You just feel sick.
Yeah.
Whereas if you sip water throughout the day, but you feel mad. You feel good.
No, it's 100% true, and that's why learning how to structure a meal, learning how to distribute your macros across the day, and managing that is actually going to solve those problems of how to see the results, feel like you're eating enough for your goals, and knowing how to actually eat properly. And then, like, moving on to the next thing, it's like, you're lacking energy during your training sessions, and if you do these first 3 things right, you're probably gonna move. Yeah. That's probably gonna be less of a problem. But meal timing, everyone says meal timing doesn't matter. It just matters your total daily calories. Yeah, it does. But whether you're dieting or whether you're building, you want your energy to be fucking up when you're in the gym. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit harder when you're dieting because you got less overall calories, but that energy should be up. And if you're not timing your carbohydrates and most of your calories around those training sessions, you are at risk of losing muscle mass, or you're at risk of decreasing performance, which is essentially where we build or maintain that muscle.
Yeah, it's not fair to say that you're having a hard time training if you're not prioritizing your nutrition around training.
Yeah.
Like, someone say, it's tough today. I go, okay, well, did you eat before training? No. Why are we having this conversation?
Took the words right out of my mouth.
You can't sit there and go, this is really hard if you haven't supported yourself in the best possible way on the day. I understand there's a thing called life and it changes. I get it. Day to day, there's lots of different things, but that's where a routine comes in. If you know that you have a busy week, right? Chances are you're not a CEO. You might be, right? But then even then you got a PA. So you can tell the PA, this is what I want to eat before I go to the gym. There's always a way around it, right? But okay, this is what I have to do. This is where my meetings are. This is some options that I can eat before I have training. I know my PT session or my gym session's at, let's say 5:30 at night, okay? Or 7:30 in the morning, whatever it is, choose one. I've got, even something as simple as like 2 crumpets with some honey and some peanut butter. Put them in a Ziploc bag. It's done. Okay, they're not warm and fresh, and the peanut butter is not running nicely across the whole crumpet. Let's be real. You're trying to increase your performance because the priority is that you look better after a certain period of time.
Bro, I've written meal plans for some of the boys where I've literally given them like 3 LCM bars before training.
If it's convenient, And
Yeah.
it means that you're going to have
'Cause
something that
they're all-
supports the goal.
They're
Tradies.
all tradies, right? So time poor, bro. And I get it. You have smoko, you have lunch, and sometimes you miss both
Mm.
because the job needs to be done.
Yeah.
So we do fucking big shakes in the morning. In the morning when they wake up, because everyone says, "Oh, I don't eat breakfast." Like, I don't care if you don't eat breakfast. You should eat breakfast. Like, this is what people also don't understand. It's like you can actually train your body to be hungry at certain times. It's like when someone says, I don't know why I always take a piss or take a shit at a certain time. My body just does it. You know why? Because you did it once or twice and now your body's like, okay, that's the time we go to the toilet.
8 o'clock, bro.
See?
Ready to go.
Bro, every time I take a shower, all of a sudden, I have to take a dump. Oh, fucking clockwork, brother. So same thing can be done with nutrition. Like if you have breakfast 2-3 times within that week, and then all of a sudden you're like, you wake up, you're like, oh fuck, I'm actually hungry now. It's like, yeah, funny how that works.
Yeah, especially especially a building phase.
Yes.
Especially if you're trying to put muscle on.
The boys trying to all get big, So I said, you can make breakfast at home, and they can. They wake up a bit earlier and they make breakfast at home. Then smoko sometimes a bit hard, so you're not building out burgers. You're putting a sandwich together or something like that, and then lunch or vice versa, you're having a shake with a bit of shit in there. And then when you go home before the gym, or if you're on the way to the gym, you have your fucking crumpets and your LCM bars.
Gatorade, LCM bars.
It's literally what I program.
Protein, oak drinks.
Yeah, sorted.
Sorted, bro.
And if you're dieting and then you probably need something that's a little bit more calorie friendly, there's options out there. Or you have a protein shake on the way to the gym.
There is more calorie friendly options, but if you're dieting, you need to be prepared.
100%.
You don't get the luxury of walking into 7-Eleven, budget, whatever, Metro, Woolies, and choosing something because you're lazy.
Yeah.
Why are you not prepared?
Yeah. Don't diet then if you're not willing to do
No,
it.
you're not in the frame. I get things change. I understand that. But you're not in the frame where if you go, oh, I'll just find something. No, we're not. That's a variable that you're leaving towards the overall result of your physique.
Yeah.
Do you want to take that chance? I know I don't.
Yeah.
Why would you want to give yourself the opportunity of not having the best results possible because you couldn't be asked preparing one meal at lunch?
Yeah. No,
and a shake for breakfast.
You said it great. Yeah, it's the reality of it. Because like if you take your own job, for example, it's like you're not going to do that with your own job. You're not going to like, oh, I'll take your fucking mate's piece of paper or fucking contract and give it to them and say, oh, but the spelling's wrong or it's not the right thing or whatever the fuck it is. It's like you're not going to be that lazy with that. So why would you then do the same thing? Because the goal should equally be as important.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck. I don't know where we went with that one, but that was good.
What was the last one?
The last one is snacking, which is actually a really good one because, a common one I see pop up in check-ins is like, oh, I'm snacking too much throughout the day.
Plagues people.
Yeah, bro. And so we've actually got a few like things for that, and they're both good. And that first one's my favorite one because most people freak out when they hear it, and it's like eat multiple meals a day, more than 3, less than 6. And I'm eating 2,000 calories and I have 5 meals a day. And someone's like, how are you eating so much food? And I'm like, bro, I just choose the right shit. Like, how are you not snacking and stuff like that? It's like, well, firstly, I'm fucking hungry. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
Like, I'm dieting. You're not going to fucking not be hungry when you're dieting. That's just how it is. And then, like, if you're someone who's like, oh, it gets to the end of work and I'm so hungry. It's like, well, bro, when was your last meal? Probably 11 a.m. It's fucking 4 or 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
So having like 4 meals a day, wake up, then you have something at maybe 10 or 11, then you have something at 1 or 2 when you have your lunch break, and then you have something when you go home, and then you have dinner. Or go to the gym and then have dinner.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said for hunger as a cue. Real hunger is eating plain rice. Like real hunger is plain rice.
Yeah, real hunger is doing a fuad abiyad and getting lettuce and putting mustard on it and eating it because you're that hungry.
Yeah, like I think like I'm hungry now. I'm hungry, right? My body tells me I'm hungry. For the first 2 weeks of my diet last year, I was fucking ravenous. I was like, bro, am I going to be able to do this? Got through the 2 weeks.
You're fine.
3rd week, I was like, sweet. I was like, this is okay.
Yeah.
you're going to feel a very strong sensation to want to consume food around your regular meal times.
It's a bit of a shock, like you're turning dials. Your body's gone from getting.
Yeah, we're on regular food.
Let's take the fuel tank example. It's like you used to get putting up $50 a week of fuel.
Right.
All of a sudden, $25. Not as good,
And you just have to sit with it for a bit, and you have to determine whether you're bored, you're stressed, you're distracted. Just being distracted is a big one. You said it before at the beginning of the episode was, if you're busy, you all of a sudden you're not hungry.
Yeah.
I know hundreds of girls. My partner, Georgina, forgets to eat on a certain day because she's busy.
Yeah.
Brother, best for dieting. Best.
Yeah.
Because if you're busy, you go, okay, I can't eat right now. I'll get back to it later. Right? Obviously, we don't suggest that approach and not eat altogether.
Yeah.
But, if you are productive and you are doing stuff, if you're going out for a walk or you have to go to the gym to do some cardio.
But that's the thing as well, man. Like, if you're having multiple meals a day, because like the amount of people I come across that aren't doing that, and it's like, you know what, have some fucking yogurt with fruit or oats in the morning, then have oats and then have yogurt. Like the calorie combination there is going to be 600 total.
Yeah, split
like
it.
It's really not a lot.
And
then have your lunch, chicken, rice, mince, whatever, pasta, fucking whatever floats your boat. And then go again, have a snack, have some fruit, have a bar, whatever. Dieting, it's totally fine.
Yeah.
And then go have dinner. It's like you're having 3 maybe core meals and 2 snacks, but you just call it a fucking meal. Don't label it as, I'm snacking too much. It's like, no, give yourself the ability to actually eat something, sit down, be conscious of the thing that you're eating and calling it a fucking meal. Because people say snack, it's like, it's something that I shouldn't have had.
Biscuits or something.
Yeah, whereas like if you actually dedicate the label to it as a meal and you're allowing yourself to have it, you change the whole frame of mind of the way that it works.
Yeah, what I was alluding to was I'd be very mindful of playing all your cards at once. So during a diet, we have a lot of trump cards that we can use to satisfy us when we're eating. So the main one is Coke Zero, sugar-free drinks.
Best friend at the moment,
right? They're great, but also I don't think they have a place within the first couple of weeks of a diet.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a good enough thing to lean on, because then when it comes to when you actually need it and you are hungry, you've already shown your hand in poker, right?
You put your pants down too early.
Right?
Yeah. You haven't even gone on a date yet. And you're like, I'm ready. And she's like, brother, fucking relax.
But you're going to be hungry because you're not eating what you would normally eat. That's great. You chose to do the diet. Be hungry.
Yeah.
It does pass.
Yeah.
And then it will rear its head again towards the end. And then, you go, might add in some sugar-free drinks here. I might add in, a serving of caffeine for appetite suppressant. I might go on another walk. I might move a little bit more to suppress my appetite. I would be very mindful. Jackson Pale said this the other day. Stretching stomach with high volume foods from the first week of a diet can be a bit detrimental.
Yeah, not only that, even just like the way that you're structuring your meals gone back a little bit, what your plate should look like. But something that I'm really utilizing now is like taking palatability away or like flavorsome foods away. Because
funny, isn't it?
Yeah, well, like if you're sitting there and you're like, I'm dieting, so I'm going to fucking make the most tastiest oats chocolate thing in the world and it's going to taste rich and beautiful.
Dessert for breakfast.
Brother, you're going to want more of that. Why would you want to do that to yourself?
You'll eat it in like 2 seconds.
You'll eat it in 2 seconds. Whereas like now, like my food, like fuck bro, barramundi and garlic in an air fryer. It sounds depressing, but you know what? Like I'm enjoying it. It caters to the goal. The fish is enough protein and it fills me the fuck up because I get 2 fish fillets. Is it the most flavorsome thing in the world? No, definitely not. But do I really give a fuck right now?
But even if it was, you'd probably eat more than 2 fillets.
That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
And, the whole snacking thing it really comes down to like, very much that as well. People will give themselves a little bit. It's like the EBT said it once, like, if you buy the pack of the Tim Tams, you're probably going to eat the whole fucking pack of the Tim Tams. You're not just going to have one.
Yeah.
No one fucking does that. I don't do that. So you know what I do? I just don't buy fucking Tim Tams. You know what I mean?
And that's my gripe with those fakeaways as well. I think they don't really have a place with physique orientated diets. I don't know if they have a place. And I'm talking about like fake McChickens and fake KFC burgers
Yeah.
and shit. I just don't. I think it's a waste of not your time, your time, and also just your effort. I would
I think you
have
just
something else.
No, yeah, I think you're just actually putting yourself through more torture than you need to. Like you're making it more difficult for yourself, which is
Okay.
obviously something we don't want to do. One of the other strategies that I'm actually not too much of, I am a bit of a fan of that I think is maybe you could do last resort is that if you really are trying to crave something that is like a little bit on the end that isn't conducive to the goals, like just pair it with something that is good.
Mm.
So like, I just really crave chocolate, like fair enough, whatever. You want some chocolate? It's like, we'll have chocolate with fruit.
Mm.
So then it's like, you get a taste of what it feels like, but then you're also getting some of the sugar from the fruit, which is actually going to be a little bit more satiating, a bit more beneficial to the goal.
Yeah, fiber.
Yeah, a bit of fiber in there as well. So I think it's really important. All those things that we spoke about should be probably number one. And then like last resort would be like, okay, like I'm going to have, the fucking fruit with chocolate or whatever. And
Yeah. If you can get through all the other things
and still want to do that.
and you still
then,
want the chocolate,
yeah.
well,
I think
I would just eat the chocolate. Like you've probably put yourself through a very horrible diet, which is what a lot of people experience. We say it's easy, and it's easy when it's done well.
Yeah, but and when we say this is the thing as well, that I want to preface. When we say diet, we mean like your diet as a whole, not just dieting.
Yes.
Like what your diet looks like, what your food looks like, whether you're bulking, whether you're cutting, whether you're maintaining, whatever it is.
Yeah, it's the whole thing.
It's the whole thing. So when we say diet, it's not just like, oh, you're dieting or you're cutting, whatever.
Yeah, it needs to all be in sync. Everything needs to be moving smoothly. Otherwise, you will not enjoy it. And I understand. Okay, it's not really that enjoyable, but also the goal is worth more than the process. Like the process is tough, but it's easier than sitting there and saying, "Oh, I look the same. Every year I look the same. Every year I look the same. I'm not happy with my result."
Yeah,
Something's got to change.
But this is the thing, right? You're gonna find so many. Like once you learn to implement this stuff, you're gonna find so many wins that you're actually gonna enjoy it. Like I said this on the YouTube today. Like, people are saying, "Why would you do that to yourself? Why are you putting yourself through shit?" Do you know how much fun I'm having?
Mm.
Do you know how sick this is?
Yeah.
I'm literally going to travel to Melbourne to train with a bodybuilder next week.
Yeah.
This lifestyle allows me to do cool shit.
Yeah.
Allows me to look the way that I do. Allows me to carry myself the way I do. And, fuck, how deep do you want to go into this? But like, it doesn't need to be difficult. You just need to actually understand that the processes involved with it require a bit of effort in the beginning, and then they just become a lifestyle.
It becomes difficult when you apply emotion to it.
Yeah, 100%. I think to recap as well, just like if you have a good understanding of the amount of calories that you need to eat, whether it's to maintain, build, or lose weight, you learn how to structure your meals every single day, how to manage the amount of protein you're supposed to have per meal and per day, carbs, fats as well, and actually structure your meals to be around pre and post workout, and then put that all together and you won't snack.
Yeah, eat more protein.
Yeah, eat more protein.
Have a protein shake, and then if you're hungry, we can chat.
You're going to know, okay, I now know how to eat for my goals. I know how to structure my day of eating. I know how I have better eating habits, and I suddenly all of a sudden look fucking the way that I want to do. So if you guys want to learn more and you guys want actual practical, in-depth 90-minute takeaways of, or 60 to 90 minutes, we haven't actually agreed on how long it's going to be.
If it's 90, it's 90.
It's 90, it's 90.
Depends how many questions there are.
Yeah, that's true. Then come to the workshop. It's completely free. It's online. You can do it in the comfort of your own home. The 5th of August at 6:30 p.m. The email blast is going to go out probably tonight and on Monday.
Whenever you press send.
Whenever I press send. So register your interest via the link in our bios, or you can go to the description in the YouTube or the Spotify below and register there.
Go register. I think there's a lot of good takeaways to be had. We've experienced both sides of the coin. Like literally, we've done all of what we've spoken about. That's
not only that, we've done it with our clients. Like,
yeah,
we have enough results to speak for themselves now, where it's like these things work, and at the end of the day, it's just like we might say something in a way that you haven't heard before, and it might resonate with you, and it will allow you to have that. As you said, you might do, as you said at the start, you might do 3 out of the 4 things correctly. And
You might do 3 7/8 of the last little part, but one part's missing, and you need all of it.
Yeah,
You do need
100%.
all of it.
All right, guys. As always, this is a phenomenal time to share on Spotify, share on Instagram, subscribe, follow, and if you've got any feedback, give it to us. Otherwise,
like
we'll
a
see you
love.
on the next one.
Looks like a love heart. Subscribe. Thanks. Bye.
Right. Crucifix.